5% of us know God. We're going to start today's premise with a simple definition covering what's known in science as a phenotype. All right. And we're going to also look at what's known in science as a genotype. Now, let's look at this. We have a phenotype and we have a genotype. Now, I could go into different nomenclature or scientific terms, but we're going to keep this real simple. Now, this is for the layperson as well as the scholars, the pseudoscience as well as the real science. All right. A phenotype is basically the physical manifestation or traits of an organism. In other words, the phenotype is how something looks, okay? Where the genotype is how something is. It actually goes to the genetic construct of an organism. All right. So the genetics is the genetic makeup of an organism. So this here under the genotype we'll say is the makeup of an organism. I gotta pardon my sloppy writing, but years ago in the war with the devils, this pinky finger right here got cut off. It's, got reattached. You know what I mean? I'm an old warrior. But now this phenotype is the physical, and we can actually add observation. Though it's not really necessary, but it just gives a little better clarity to it. You know what I mean? Or we could say the various traits. All right, let me pause here for a minute. Now let's look at this. All right, so we got the phenotype, how something looks, the physical observation of its traits. The genotype is the genetic makeup of an organism. All right, so in plain language, in ghetto language, what we're saying is the phenotype is how somebody looks. The genotype is what they are. All right? Now, pull my little laser out here for y'all. Now remember, this is the phenotype. This is the genotype. There are two aspects of the same organism. It's how a person looks and how a person is, or what a person is. Let's look at Master FARD Muhammad. Okay, so we had a phenotype, which is how a person looks, the physical observation traits. Then you have the genotype, which is the genetic makeup of an organism or a person, or the very natural genetic essence of what a person is. So a person's genotype can be black and that phenotype can be white, meaning a black man can look like a white man and a white man can look like a black man. That's common science in nature, family. Wake up. Don't believe the hype. So the phenotype, or how Master FARD Muhammad looks, he looks like an Arab or a white man or Caucasian or a lighter person. However, black men and black women manifest different shades of black, brown, yellow, red, albinos, as well as white, what we call phenotypes. But the original genotype, or the genetic essence, or the makeup of humanity, comes from the original man. This is what Europeans call the out of Africa theory, basically. They believe that all human beings, somehow, some way, at some time, migrated out of Africa from an original black man and black woman. That theory does not tell you the historicity of how Africa was connected to other land masses and how isotopes on the borders of Africa, which is 12 million square miles, perfectly matches the land masses of, say, South America and other land masses. It doesn't tell you if it's a man and a woman, what human being was on Earth first. There had to be an original person that manifested the first life form on the planet. We say it was the original man, the Asiatic Black Man, the maker, the owner, the creator of planet Earth, God of the universe. It historically, scientifically, geologically, genetically makes perfect sense when we look at the 7 continents, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, and Europe. The largest land on Earth is not Africa. It's Asia. Asia is 16 million square miles, family. It's in our 99 Natural Facts. You see what I'm saying? We was taught this back in 1933. You see? The black man produces the brown man. So when we walk around the United States of America, if I see a brother's phenotype, it's a whole bunch of brown black men in North America. I go down North Philly, I know a whole bunch of brown-skinned brothers. The Elijah Muhammad was brown skinned. That don't mean he was a Japanese or an Arab or whatever. You know, his genetic, his genotype, he's a black man, plain and simple. But I know some brothers that's like light skinned. When I see a light skinned black man, I don't be like, oh, he's Chinese. I mean, or he's yellow. No, he's a red. No, he's a black man. He's just a light skinned brother. I'm not going to take him out of his nature just because his phenotype through slavery makes him look or appear to be lighter than he originally was. He still has that dominant DNA. He still has the genetic essence of God. That's God, plain and simple. And I know a lot of brothers that's red. But I wouldn't look at him like he's Indian. I mean, it's like, no, he's a black man with red skin. I mean, I know brothers that's albino. I mean, true albinos. I mean, like they literally got the pink eyes, all that. I mean, but I look at that daddy. That daddy is a pure black man. They are black people. There are white people all over the planet Earth. You got Italians, you got French. Some white people can't produce blonde hair and blue eyes. They got too much black in them. I mean, you go over Spain, they be like, we've been genetically mixed a little too much with the genotype of the Africans. The Moors came over here. So, you go over to Eastern Africa, and they got a lot of people with blonde hair and blue. Blonde hair is recessive. Blue eyes are recessive. That's why mama got black silky hair. So do a whole bunch of people that are from Africa, family. I mean, different migrations, mixing, natural selections, environmental heredity. You know, we look at, I remember having an assistant minister from California years ago. Now, I mean, he was from Eritrea. I mean, his hair was like fine silk. I know brothers from Ethiopia, Somalia. You got Arabs, Indians, Chinese, Berbers, people of the sign. They Asiatics. We call them Asiatics because they're world citizens. I mean, a lot of people think Asia started with the Greeks. No! They got ancient silk writings about Asia. Ancient Kemetic Egyptians be like, yo, we went to war with the Asiatics. Asia is an ancient term, but we can call Asia, our nomenclature in the Nation of Islam is that we're Asiatics. That's our nationality. Black is not our national. Master Muhammad don't put black first. He said the original man is what? The nationality. He said the original man is the Asiatic. Then he's black. He's the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. You see? So Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. So when you see Master Fard Muhammad's fine silky hair, his hair looks like the hair of Arabs and Chinese. That's dominant hair. If you understand the essence of hair, our hair, different migrations and mixings. There's a law, family, known as environmental heredity. You can show and prove it so fast. Those of you that lift weights, go do some pull-ups. Now, I mean, I know warriors that used to train in the snow. They used to punch through piles of snow with their bare fists. They used to run barefoot on cold, hard concrete, burning hot tar. And what happens is, when you do that, the skin on your hands genetically changes in like 1 week. In 7 days, your feet will genetically change. When I used to do pull-ups with the fruit FOI class, we doing this, getting this workout in. We doing this every day. We lift these weights every day. We getting ripped up. But I genetically noticed my hands start developing calluses. The skin genetically had to toughen up. Or, at first my hands didn't have that texture, so they easily rip. Your hands be bleeding. And you keep on doing the pull-ups. You keep it moving. Know what I mean? And what happens is your hands adapt to that environment. My hands get tougher. You can smack a joke and knock them straight out. I mean, that's reality, family. Now, I mean, so the loose curls, the wavy or straight hair is a common trait found amongst the Fulani people in North and East Africa. I mean, Africa, the continent, the mother continent of Africa, family, became the mother continent when Europe and the United States separated Africa from Asia by blowing up part of Africa in the 1800s. They call it the Suez Canal. Okay, look that up. The Suez Canal. Look at, prior to the Suez Canal, Kemet or Egypt, Nubia, the Sudan, Kush, Ethiopia was connected to Asia Minor. I mean, the Suez Canal. All that spooky stuff about some biblical Jews leaving Egypt, going across the Red Sea to the Look at the map. Egypt on the other side of the Red Sea is Mecca. It's Arabia. Study the science of geography, geology. Study the rocks. If you're looking at a map and you see Africa, 12 million square miles today, and within the last 5 years, Africa just split again. Notice that the piece of land that broke off of Africa, scientists, genetics, and historians say, oh, y'all know that land all the way over there called Madagascar, that's Africa too. Be like Madagascar all the way over there. The Suez is right next door. How is Madagascar part of Africa and Asia Minor is not part of Africa? It's the pseudoscience that we be believing, family. Gotta get out this spooky stuff. Master Fard Muhammad, to whom all praises is due forever, came and taught us the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of ourselves. We were spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb, and we simply to this day don't want to see, hear, or speak the raw truth. But the duty of the civilized people is to teach the arts and sciences of the universe. This is what we're teaching you today. We're teaching you the science of everything. The science of how to eat to live, the science of economics, the science of cosmology, the science of psychology, the science of politics, the science of it all, you see? But our people are so caught up in religion and sex and division. They let Yakub's law, divide and conquer, make us totally other than our own selves. Now, I mean, we have to stop the foolishness. We have to come together in unity if we're going to do for ourselves as we struggle for peace, truth, freedom, justice, and equality, and strive to reestablish the universal nation of Islam. This is the nation where the original people was living in peace under the sun, moon, and stars. We didn't care where we was at. The Aboriginal people of Australia, black. The people in the Philippines, black. The original Hawaiians, black. The original Nippons or Japanese, black. The original Chinese, black. The original Europeans, black. We're the root of civilization, family. And don't let the devil's trickology have you in ignorance because you don't understand phenotypes and genotypes. You see the phenotype of a thing, and just because it looks from a physical observation has certain traits, you say that's what it is. No, that's what it looks like. You have to understand, what is the genotype? What is the genetic makeup of that man or that woman or that creature? Then you going into the sciences of life, family. Get out that spooky stuff. The struggle continues. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Shalom. Hotep. Peace, peace. I'm your brother in the struggle for peace, truth, freedom, justice, and equality. Brother Minister or Wazir Alifullah. And today, family, we're going to share with you some more of the messenger's message in this age of mess as it relates to Master FARD Muhammad, his phenotype and his genotype. We're going to use the little chalkboard a little bit today, not too much, but we're just going to give you some notes so that you could take and write down some notes so that you can reflect upon a few things. But I would like to start by coming from one of the messenger's books, Message to the Black Man in America, as to, is Master FARD Muhammad white or black? I mean, see, we got to understand, if you look at just North America, we ain't talking about Brazil, where there's a lot of more black people around, you got Central and South America and so forth. But just looking at North America alone, you see that we have such a diverse manifestation of black people. Like, you'll find black people that's blue-black and pure white, but they're all black people. See, they may be a mixture of African, Taino Indians, Spanish, and they may come up with these different nomenclatures or scientific terminologies, say, oh, he or she is Puerto Rican. No, they're Cuban. I mean, they're from the Dominican Republic. They're Haitians. They're Americans. They're from California. They're from Pennsylvania. They're from New York. I mean, they're from Canada. They're from China. They're from Africa. They're from Ghana. They're from South Africa. They're from Nigeria. They're from Eritrea. They're from Egypt. They're from Arabia. They're from Somalia. Listen, as Jesus put it, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. If it was not so, I would have told you. We are world citizens. Wherever Papa laid his hat, he was home. His home covers not just 196,940,000 square miles, but his home covers straight through the darkness of every carbon atom of our universe. 76 quintillion miles. 76 quintillion miles multiplied by pi 3.14 mathematically brings you to the cipher or the circumference of the black man's home, which is the entire universe covering 238 quintillion 640 quadrillion miles. Islam is not our religion. Islam is our nature. Holy Quran, chapter 30, verse 30. That's the real deen. We don't point our finger and become a Muslim. I mean, the capital of Mu. I mean, it's like, no, Islam is the nature in which every atom of the universe operates. We simply mean submission to the will of Allah. A law to us is not some bright white light sitting up on a water throne or a big chair like in outer space somewhere beyond the sun, moon, and stars. You see, there are thousands of mystery gods out there. There are thousands of them, family. There are countless sky gods. There are mystery gods all over Africa. I mean, our people have no problem believing in sky gods in Africa, sky gods of Arabia, sky gods of China. We take the symbols over the substance. We'll put up the sun, the symbol of the sun, the symbol of the moon, the stars, and we're not supposed to worship the symbol over the substance. We don't take the original and say, oh, I carved out a statue of Amun Ra. I got a statue of Amun. I got Heru. I got Usar. I got Aset or Osiris and Isis and Horus. I mean, they are symbols. The physical black man, the original Thoth Tahuti was a physical black man god. The real Ra was a black man god. Heru, the warrior son, was a physical black man god. You see? It's like that all over the planet. Alat, the goddess, wasn't a statue in the cop. Alat was a strong black woman. A human being that had 2 feet, 5 fingers. Some of us are born with fewer fingers. Now, I knew a friend, his queen was pregnant. She fell down the steps. The baby was born missing a few fingers. It just had like a nub and 2 in the thumb and 1 other finger. You see, things genetically happen because there's no mystery God. There's no abracadabra. Everything is perfect. God is a man of war, according to the Bible. Meaning what? You can't have peace or Islam without war. You can't have heaven without hell. Everything in the universe that strives to bring forth life, there's an opposing force that strives to bring forth death. Everywhere you see there's darkness, there's the war with light. Every proton, there's the force of the electron. There's the proton or the positive force, there's the electron cloud, that negative force. There's that God, there's that devil. There's that black, there's that white. There's that rich, there's that poor. There's that truth, there's the falsehood. There's that science, there's that pseudoscience. That's the law of polarity. It's in all things according to our ancestors. There is no mystery God, family. And because we believe in all of these unscientific constructs, literally, like we got black people that's believed in so much pseudoscience. I just seen a report. They was explaining how basically the American youth is failing in math and science. You got to understand what that means. That means that in the future, educated Chinese children, Indian children, so forth, they're going to have an advantage over the children in the wilderness of North America because they're going to be thinking scientifically. They're going to be like, they don't raise their children up on Santa Claus and Easter bunnies and tooth fairies. And when a person dies, a ghost come out their body and they float off and live on top of cloud number 9 with a big white Jesus up there on the throne with some white angels flying around, and you got all kind of white ghosts that come back and haunt you, and there's a big red muscular devil that's going to pull you down in hell and throw you in the pit and you're going to burn up forever. And it's like, no, family. Heaven and hell are conditions of life on the planet we live on. Human beings make every god and every devil. There is no mystery God that makes people. There are no mystery devils that persecute people. There's true and living devils that colonize people. There's real devils that practice imperialism on human beings on earth and turn their heaven civilization into hell, a colony. You see? It's nothing spooky with any of this. You see, it's just 2025. So today, you don't want to worship the god of thunder, Thor, throwing lightning bolts at you, and because you now understand what makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. Master Muhammad said in 1933 in our lesson, Lost Found Miles, lesson number 2, that there is no mystery. All of this is caused by the Son of Man. He asked the messenger, he said, what makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? The messenger was like, the earth is approximately cut under water, approximately 3/4 of the surface. The sun. There was nothing in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to teach you to look outside of mathematics and science. Some people look at like the mother plane as something spooky. The messenger's like, Master Muhammad don't teach nothing spooky about no mother plane. He like, the mother plane, there's another plane. He said the mother plane was built in 1929. Not by Master FARD Muhammad saying abracadabra. He simply, like any other engineer, he said that he got some black, brown, yellow, and red scientists to build the mother plane. Where did he go? He's like, well, studying the planet Earth covering 196,940,000. It's these ancient minds over in Nippon and Japan. I mean, on the northern part of Japan, it's this big giant island. They call it Hokkaido. I mean, and they just make the best steel. Then that Pacific Ocean hit that land, it makes that rock so hard that you heat that rock up for thousands of years. The ninja wa, not ninjas like wearing black. No, ninja wa were the ninja black wa men. They were human black. They worshiped Japanese god men. Prior to America going to war with Japan, one of the conditions of peace for Japan was the United States general demanded that the Japanese stop teaching their people that God was man. They used to worship the emperor as God on earth. That's who them kamikazes were. They were soldiers. They understood reality. They used mathematics. That's what Genghis Khan, that's what the Greeks and the Romans, the ancient Kemites, the people of Arabia, India, wherever, that human beings that did real things, did real things. Not in a spooky sense, family. It's like, no, they didn't, our ancestors didn't have no genius to build no beautiful pyramid. They messed the pyramids up 1,000 times. They was like, we try what, all right, well, that, all right, well, look, we just, we see these naturally dried up bodies in this hot sand, and they perfected the technology. They was like, all right, well, this pyramid, a little master bass. It ain't nothing fancy, but this is nice. I mean, and somebody else looked at it like, I can improve on that. And that's the thing, it was like, well, this pyramid, the math it was the bent pyramid. This one collapsed. But then Khufu was like, I perfected that thing. But it don't supposed to stop at Khufu. Yeah, the Master Muhammad told us in 1933, family, and now 99 actual facts. He teaches us the Great Pyramid of Giza weighs 14 billion pounds. It consists of 2,800,000 blocks, each block weighing an average of 2.5 tons or 5,000 pounds. It's 481 to 764 feet high. It covers 13 acres. He taught us the math of ancient Kemet. And Message to the Black Man, in here, Dr. Elijah Muhammad teach us what? He said we lived along the Nile Valley civilization. Master Muhammad, in the problem book, in 99 Actual Facts back in the 1930s, you know what he told us about the Nile River? He said the Nile River is 4,690 miles long, 1 3/8 miles wide. He was teaching us about he taught us about Africa in the 99 Actual Facts in the 1930s. So we're not anti-Africa. Master Muhammad wasn't anti-black. He was coming to tell you, listen, black is the base from which all colors derive from. He's not saying black is a color. He's saying black is the base from which all colors come from. You don't have a color in the rainbow that didn't come from the blackness of our universe. The blackness of our universe produces the light that travels 186,000 miles per second. It produces red and yellow and pink and green, purple, orange and blue. They're all dimensions of blackness. But those that don't know science, they don't understand how black covers everyone. If you're a melanated being on a planet, they be like, there is no albinos that don't have melanin. There are no white people that don't have melanin. Our 99 natural facts say they just have 3 layers of skin. We got 7. We just happen to have more melanin than some others. You see, the original man was a pure black man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Master Fard Muhammad's father was a pure black man. He was an Arab. His mother was a pure white woman. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in the article Awake that she was a Jewish woman. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us in How to Live. He said in 1967 in How to Live Book 1 and How to Live Book number 2 in 1972, he teaches us that the Muslims could eat the Jews' food and the Jews could eat the Muslims' food because that which we call, in this day and time, halal in Islam is kosher in Judaism. Islam is the same thing as Christianity and Judaism. It's just that they spooked it up and took our spiritual system and turned it into organized religion. So you have some people running around, they be like, well, I'm an atheist. I'm atheist. Like I don't believe in no God. It's like, yes, you do. Unless you just don't understand your definition of God. God just means supreme being. It's nothing magical or supernatural about God. People got this completely confused, misrepresented, distorted, grafted, mixed, diluted, and tampered with in every form. We are not taught to worship a picture of Master Fard Muhammad. We are not taught that Master Fard Muhammad alone is Allah in person. He is the God. We're taught that Master Fard Muhammad's father was God. We're taught that Master Fard Muhammad is God. We're taught every black man is God. We're taught every time you look at the black man, you're looking at God. We're taught Allah's all of us. We're not working with anything spooky. We're the 5%, the poor righteous teachers who do not believe in the teachers are the 10%. This was, is, and shall be the teachers of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I know they grafted it all up and got y'all thinking all this spooky pseudo stuff in 2025. But let's get back to this main point of Master Fard Muhammad's phenotype and the genotype. In science, our lessons teach us what? Study the sciences of life. That's what the civilized people do. We study the arts and sciences of the universe, family. You see? As I said, the universe, the diameter, 99 actual facts. Our 99 actual facts teaches that the diameter of the universe is 76 quintillion miles. It teaches us that the circumference of our universe is 238 quintillion 640 quadrillion miles. That's 2, 3, 8, 6, 4, 15 ciphers, or circles, all right, zeros. Master Fard Muhammad teaches us that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam, and the Bible teaches you that when God in person comes as proof of his manifestation, he comes and teaches the world about the actual facts. He asks the prophets, who has weighed the earth in the palm of his hand? 99 actual facts. 1 cubic foot of common earth weighs 80 pounds. You see? 1 cubic foot of salt water weighs 62.5 pounds. We got 57,255,000 square miles of land, 139,685,000 squares of water. Added together, totals 196,940,000 square miles. You see? 6 sextillion tons. That's unified by 21 ciphers. This is what we're taught back in the 30s. We wasn't taught no religious mumbo jumbo. We wasn't taught to wait on no mother plane to come save us. We was taught to do for self. And Master the Black Man, you know what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said? He said, get out of that. Answer your own prayers. He said the Christians don't wait on Jesus to come solve. They answer their own prayers. You see? Prayer is a person in a certain place doing something. So we pray within and we work without. You notice I don't be doing a lot of facing the east, praying and making dua, making salat. I know how to do that. I did it. You know what I mean? I've been in this thing over 40 years now. I mean, but the messenger teaches us that there's degrees with the law. We grow. I mean, it's like, yeah, I love Savior's Day, but the message teaches us every day is Savior's Day. Our Savior's Day. This ain't Thanksgiving. This ain't Christmas. This ain't New Year's. I'd be like, I'm not waiting on February 26th to do nothing. I'm not waiting on the one plane to do nothing. I'm not expecting Master Muhammad to come back and do anything. Elijah Muhammad said the angel's going to take care of all that. The people was not holy enough. It's like, man, Master Muhammad came back here, y'all be grinding him up on YouTube. I mean, people be trying to jump Master FARD Muhammad, shoot him, hit him with a cold knife or a hot bullet or something. You know how mentally dead our people are. You know how COINTELPRO operates. See? There is no mystery God. So the scriptures ain't some religious spooky book. We're taught that the Holy Quran or Bible is made by the original people who is Allah. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, no, we don't have no qualms about Master FARD Muhammad. I mean, it's like Master FARD Muhammad is the supreme Allah. Why? He came with the supreme wisdom. You see, there's degrees and everything. When we take and look at human beings, it's like, okay, this brother knows more about these teachers than this brother. This sister knows more about the teachers than these brothers. You see? Yaqub knew the sciences of his day and time. The message said he was the wisest on earth 6,000 plus years ago. Today, we're saying there was one born February the 26th, Master FARD Muhammad, the Mahdi, the Messiah, the Son of Man, the second coming of Jesus, whatever nomenclature. This is what the messenger teaches us who he was and is and shall be to those that know, have wisdom, and understand the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. His teachings sparked black theology and consciousness for the so-called American Negroes. But the messenger thing is, like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. We're not saying that there wasn't tens and hundreds and thousands and millions of other black men and women all over the planet Earth that already came with revelation teaching that people, yeah, they had the way. You see? Everyone did that part. I mean, it's like, yo, we got hearts and eyes and teeth and foot soldiers and fists and bones. But together, we as a people, we're the body Christ. Yeah, it's carbon, but, it don't take away the water, the hydrogen, the oxygen, the nitrogen, and the air. All these atoms in that diversity, they bring about Mayat, balance. This day and time, it's real simple. It's called freedom, justice, and equality. It's mathematics, family. You see what I'm saying? The Holy Quran teaches us in chapter 99, Al-Zilzal, that he or she that does a thara or atoms worth of good, they're going to see it. And those that do an atom or thara worth of evil, they will see it. The Bible teaches the same thing, just in a different way. The Bible, like, you're going to reap what you sow. It's all cause and effect. It's nothing spooky in any of this stuff. You see what I'm saying? Righteousness is you doing the right things. Your soul is willing, your flesh is weak. Ain't no perfect holy people on earth. Master Muhammad ain't claim to be no perfect holy. It's like that's spooky. Holy is just that which has not been mixed, diluted, or tampered with in any form. Meaning Master Muhammad is like, this thought, this concept, I'm giving y'all pure reality. Al-Haq. You see? Chapter 22, verse 6, he gave us the sure truth, the real truth, that reality that sparked a Afrocentric movement, that sparked black power, that sparked black militant, black economics, black universities, black education, took back the streets. Y'all know fruit is best. Y'all know fruit had them streets. Don't let the spiritual cream puff fruit in this day and time have you thinking like the raw fruit ain't there. Yeah, it's all kinds. It's gonna take all types to build a nation. We need sweet fruit. I mean, we got fruit that ain't ripe yet. They still growing. I mean, all fruit can't grow everywhere. Bananas can't grow in North Philly. You take that harsh environment, like you take some bananas down North Street if you want. You could plant some kiwi and some mangoes out 60th Street down the Moon if you want. you try taking some coconuts and some mangoes out Carpenter Street in South Philadelphia, talking about, yeah, we're going to open up a temple down here in Soldier. Them little young lions, tigers, and bears be like, no, y'all not. You know what I mean? You know, so you got to understand, it's nothing spooky. You know what I mean? There's likes and there's likes. Opposites attracts, likes repel. You see? And if you don't understand that science, this is why we in the position, in the condition that we're in 2025. The mother folks like Project 2025. Within the last 2 months, you done seen so much pseudo-Christianity going all over YouTube. It's ridiculous. They ain't done. Wait till Trump get in there. Wait till they get this money. I mean, they going to marry that politics to that money to build the institutions and take over the apparatus. I just this morning, I just went to peace to the Palestinians. They just had the release of 3 hostages over. Hamas just released 3 hostages this morning. And the Israeli-Palestinian Hamas conflict is still, you know, but they trying to, you know, bring about some balance and semblance of civilization and peace and mutual respect. And we pray within and work without. They work that stuff out. I mean, but at the end of the day, we, you know, in the Nation of Islam, our thing is we're clear. We know the original man is the Asiatic Black Man. We know the earth is God's. I mean, you know, ain't no individual. We know the biblical story of this son stealing the other son's birthright. Now, I mean, we know what Jesus taught us in the scriptures and John taught in the book of Revelation. We know why the 24 scientists wrote that, so that we won't be spooky in this day and time. Down below, Muhammad teaches us that we are the original Hebrews. We are the original Jews. He teaches us we are the real Christians. He said in Theology of Time 1972, he said, Elijah's the Bible a lie? No. If you understand it, you see, it's like, you know, he told us we believe in the Holy Quran. We don't believe the Holy Quran is some holy, magical book that hasn't been tampered with. They be like, the Quran is pure. It's like that kasher, that duma, that shada, that all these vows y'all put in there, all these new chapters, the way y'all sort, that's all bitter. That's new innovation. That's not what the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam revealed. I mean, that's what human beings do. Like, it's no magical Torah. I mean, you know, the books of Moses be like, I never in my life seen them books. I mean, you'd be like, those books was written after Moses died. I mean, it'd be like that Bible, be like, I'm talking about the earliest Greek manuscripts. I mean, you know, the earliest codexes. Those manuscripts, 100% of them were written after Jesus physically died. The Holy Quran was written after Prophet Muhammad physically died. He was physically dead. This here was written while Al-Balaj was physically alive. This is 1965, family. This was written, Al-Sayyiz was written while the Al-Balaj Muhammad is holding Al-Sayyiz. The Al-Balaj Muhammad is holding Message to the Black Man, the flag of Islam. How do you live, book 1? See what I'm saying? There's a difference. They didn't have printing presses back in the day. We had, you know, it's like the angels ain't coming with no magical wings flying down off the clouds. I'm coming to y'all right down through the iCloud. I mean, I'm using the Yeti Blue mic. These sound waves is traveling 1,120 feet per second. It's going to go to your inner ear and vibrate. The law of vibration is a universal law. The law of vibration is one of the ancient Kabbalion teachings of our ancestors. You see, there is nothing spooky. The angels ain't going to come playing a harp, but they is going to come with a certain vibe. that law of vibration is going to spark your subconsciousness and mentally resurrect you from the dead. Not that you're going to come out the physical grave, but you're going to come out of the grave of ignorance, the grave of slavery, suffering, and death, and you're going to stand back up perpendicular on the cipher of 360 degrees with the knowledge of yourself. You're going to have your 2 feet in a 90-degree angle, because 90 degrees times 4 equals 360 degrees. The earth is not flat, family. You see what I'm saying? The moon is not flat. The planets are not flat. The planets are spheres, family. The moons are spheres, family. The sun, you can take a telescope in 2025. It'll take maybe like 2 minutes, and you can look at the sun and see the black spots on this. You can see the sun actually is a sphere rotate. You can see the moon. You can see the craters on the moon. See what I'm saying? That moon 243,000 miles away. That sun is 93 million miles away, 150 billion kilometers. You can see it. I mean, you know, it's nothing spooky. The science of life is coming to you today. Dr. Elijah Muhammad teaches us in Asiatic Black Man, we have 24 black scientists. God is a scientist. God is not a religious leader. The messenger said in Theology of Time in 1972, he's not trying to give you inspiration. He's trying to give you information. He's not coming to preach. He's coming to teach. We're poor, righteous teachers. I'm not trying to be all hyping Dr. Martin Luther King-y. I mean, no. I'm trying to give you the plain truth, the simple truth. Now, Master FARD Muhammad's phenotype, how he looks like a white man, an Arab or something. Absolutely. But I know a whole bunch of brothers. You know how many of my homies and friends is got pale skin and fine silky hair, and you know how many girls I know is like light skin and I mean got long silky hair. You know how many pitch black brothers I know that they just don't get nappy eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? You know, they don't, you know, it's a science to that. It's a reason why hair is kinky. My hair is frizzy, kinky than a mug. Depending if I wash it too much moisture get in there. I mean, but if I let it woof up and I cut it down, my hair turn wavy than a mug like fine silk. You know what I mean? I'd be 60 in a few days. It's still here. No gray in that thing. My face is all gray. But that's my genetics. I got that from my dad, my grandpa. They were just hairy dudes. You know what I mean? I don't have hair on my chest and none of that, on my back, none of that. But as far as I might start wolfing back up here because genetically, my dad used to have that light spot. So I think I'm going to inherit that part. But, you know, so far as just holding on a little bit. You know what I mean? You know, y'all stressing me out. It might start falling out here. You know what I mean? But my so-called date of birth, I'll be around the sun 60 times, January 29th. Now, I mean, you know, inshallah Sakin. Now, I mean, you know, we don't believe in birthdays. We believe in dates of birth, you see? So Master FARD Muhammad, his phenotype, how he looks, is different. But if I see a brown sister, I'm not saying, oh, she's an Arab. I mean, she's, you know, if I look at Mother Tanetta Muhammad, she's lighter. I'm not like, she's not Chinese just because she got yellow skin. I mean, it's like, brothers are not Oriental because their skin is yellow. You got a whole bunch of light-skinned brothers. I mean, some of our greatest warriors, George Jackson and his brother Jonathan, two of the greatest revolutionary soldiers, they were light-skinned brothers with afros. I mean, Dr. Khalid was a dark-skinned with a shiny diamond bald head. I mean, we come in all flavors, family. And, you know, and I remember years ago, I met a brother, a ham from New York, and he basically was teaching me a deep thing. He wrote me because he was from what they call the Nation of Ham. I don't know if many people is familiar with the teachers of the Nation of Ham. Real good brother. I remember years ago we had a good dialogue, if you will, for several years. He had got sick though, but he basically was explaining to me because he was dark skinned. But he basically explained it to me that light-skinned Negroes are not black. I mean, so I'm like, he's like, Master Muhammad is a white man because he's light. Any black person you see they had like numbers, like if you're less than 3/4 black, you're white. They was getting into like mulattoes, what they call it, the slave codes from Louisiana. People don't know white folks codified that stuff. Like if your great grandfather was white, and you know what I mean, just pseudoscience to me. I'm like, so my thing was like, I had to entertain the guy because he's talking about Master Muhammad is white, and I was like, you sent me a letter basically saying that you're pure black. You from the nation of Ham. Ham means black in Hebrew, and this, that, and the other. And I'm looking at I'm like, brother, you are not a pure black man. Yes, you're dark skinned. I know a whole bunch of people way darker than you, brother. I mean, it's like, I know a sister that was so dark skinned, I didn't even know her. I had to stop her and bow down on one knee. Peace, goddess. She looked like me. What this fool bowing? I was like, you have the most beautiful, natural, melanated complexion I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, so it's like there are dark-skinned people. That don't mean they're pure black. That means that phenotype, like I'm dark brown. It's like, I know brothers darker than me, lighter than me, but we don't sit around looking at each other like, I'm brown, you're yellow, you're black, you're red bone. No, we're black. We don't even think like it. That never even was a thought. When I was mentally dead, that wasn't a thought. When I was mentally dead, what was a thought in my ignorance? Because I heard it in the hood, North Philly. We see a girl that was light skinned, as we called it. We might say, damn, she's fine red bone, this, that, and the other, but it's like, there's some red bones we like, she ain't no looker just because she light skinned. And we see sisters like, oh, she's gorgeous. Because it's pitch black. I mean, she's just gorgeous. So you just got people with different complexions, different heights, different weights. We come in every flavor, family. You know what I mean? It's like you got models and you got people, but it's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I look, all black is beautiful, period, to me, family. I mean, it's like Master FARD Muhammad being the complexion he is in. I understand it as taught by Messenger Elijah Muhammad. That's my worldview. That don't mean the Honorable Elijah Muhammad don't make mistakes. He's the Pope. He's a magical holy man. No, that's pseudoscience. I mean, I'm saying everybody has a worldview. When I studied different things, my conclusion was, I'm riding with the messenger's message in this age of mess. It just makes sense for me. You know what I mean? My thing is like, all right, well, you could bring up another worldview and we could respectfully, look at each side, you know what I mean, and analyze it, deputize it, scrutinize it, and utilize it. You know what I mean? But Master FARD Muhammad fulfills the biblical prophecy that when God comes, he's going to take on the flesh of the corrupted. All that stuff just makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, he's the fulfillment of Jesus. Mary, his mom, got pregnant by God himself, the black man, to give birth to the Christ child who would be the savior. Our savior has. It makes just perfect sense. It just fulfills all of these prophecies, if you will. You know what I mean? And absent that, when I see that you should know a tree by the fruit it bears, and I look at, I'm from North Philadelphia. I seen the warriors. I seen me and my friends as mentally deads out in the streets, savages and brothers pulling up in the buses, jumping out, taking us down to see Brother Minister Jeremiah Shabazz. You know what I mean? You know, it's like they chopping our heads. They physically cutting our head in the barbershop, telling, yeah, shorty, don't eat pork. This, that, the pig is grafted from the rat, cat, and dog. And, you know what I mean? You know, and we mentally dead, in our mentally dead state. We ain't joined the nation, but even as mentally dead, we like, oh, nah, man, I drink Old English 800. I smoke weed, does all that crazy stuff. You know what I mean? But my thing was like, you'll never catch me using no top paper because there's swine on that. We use easy water. I'll be like, I ain't got no rolling papers. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'll take the top paper and tear the glue part off, throw that away, and just hook me up a little Dawn and spark it. You know what I mean? You know, we was mentally dead, but we was like, no, we don't eat Italian hoagies. That's pork on that. See what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'd be like, yo, homie, you know that ice cream got swine in it. I mean, oh, you know them Hostess pie, they use lard in that joint. So we get a tasty cake. We would do stuff as mentally dead that we didn't even know was because of the hard work and worth of Master Fard Muhammad coming before we was ever born and thought of. You see what I'm saying? And we took and continued that tradition. You see? That's the Sunnah of Allah, the Sirat al-King. We're on a straight and narrow path trying to help our people help themselves. But in that struggle, we like, yo, we don't expect everybody to become FOIs. And I mean, you know how many young boys I know out there? They like, man, you know, I'm up in the crib with them. I'm up in the trap house with them. They got them things. They doing things. They making things happen. You know what I mean? They on the tip like, you know, they like, listen, they straight up salam Allah, peace, God. You know what I mean? They be like, oh, the prom, you know what I mean? You know, boo-boo, bang. You know what I mean? It's respect because I give respect. Muslims respect all people. We demand respect from all people. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, you know, those that say don't do, those that do don't say. They so them y'all boy, they like, no, Ali, he traveled by himself. He might have had a black bag with him, but he traveled by himself. You know what I mean? Anywhere. You know what I mean? And you gotta understand, real guys do real things. See, y'all spooked out your mind for real. Y'all know how to make things happen. Y'all hoping things happen. It's a difference. You see what I'm saying? So we try to be patient with our people. Now, I mean, the Holy Quran teaches you just got to hurl the truth at falsehood till you knock his brains out. Now, I mean, we got to resurrect the mentally dead by using that master grip and pulling our people up. Like, yo, come on. Now, I mean, let's stop the nonsense. Now, I mean, we got to get this unity together. We got to wake our people up. We got to take back our planet. It's a lot of work that we got to do. See what I'm saying? The devil busy doing his thing. His time been up, but he like, y'all still divide and conquer under Yaku's law, divide and conquer. Y'all still playing games. Y'all still waiting on a mystery God. You know what I mean? So that phenotype and that genotype, the phenotype is how Master Fard Muhammad looks. Yeah, he looks like a white man or Arab. But his genotype, who he is, his genetics, his father was a pure black man. His mom was a pure white woman. He's 50 black, 50. He's black. You know what I'm saying? There are no so-called Negroes or so-called Africans that don't have white people blood mixed in their blood. There are no white people in the past, present, or future that don't have black people blood. This is why we say humanity is humanity. Everybody is interrelated. Our DNA pool been mixed, family. But at the essence of it, all of the genetics, all of the nationalities, all of the black people, the brown people, the yellow people, the red people, the albino people, the white people come from the black people. And all of the black people come from the black man. That ancient original life forms that came up out of the water and the mud of this planet, the essence of this planet. That original man, the messenger said, now says Rob in 1974, he said the original man didn't always look like we do today. He said the black man in America is not an example of the original man. We've been under the devil for 6,000 years. We do more devilment than the devil himself. We're born slaves in the United States of America, mentally dead. Until God came and raised us up to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of ourselves, you see? But that original man, in his essence, in his DNA, in that XY chromosome, was a double X chromosome. So in that original man was the womb of man. It's not spooky like your Bible's like God took the rib out of Adam and made Eve. It's like, no, out of the DNA of the black man came the black woman. And out of the DNA of the black man and the black woman comes the black child. And that process has been going on for the past 76 trillion years, family. So in that type of mixture, in 2025, we got like 8 billion people on earth. Master FARD Muhammad is simply one that has the phenotype of an Arab or white man, but he has the genotype of the original man, the black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says this. I'm going to give it to you word for word. For those of you that are not familiar with it, this is Message to the Black Man in America, 1965. You find this on my website at noireport.online. All right? I'm come to you from the chapter. I like showing y'all this stuff, you know. I might have a drop down somewhere. I'm not sure. All right. The coming of the Son of Man, the infidels are angry. Who is his father if God is not his father? Think about that. If Master Muhammad is not God, then who is his father? You see, his father and his uncles, 24 of them all together, traveled from all over the planet Earth, and they met up in the seat of civilization in Becca. The Romans, the 30th chapter of the Holy Quran is called Al-Rum, the Romans. I know a lot of our people look at it like, oh, the Arabs, they didn't. The message is saying his first book, The Supreme Wisdom, Volume 1 and 2, 1957. He explained to us, the Arabs are going to have to answer for enslaving black people. That's a separate issue. There's a lot of pseudoscience out there with these Arabs, but Arab, those of you that study Arabic and Hebrew, like Rabbil Alamin, Lord of the Worlds, like the Jewish Rabbi, I mean, the black lords, the Abu, the father, Ummi, the mother, I got a Quranic dictionaries over here. I can show y'all, go into the tafsir and root words, all that, but I'm not trying to Arabize this thing. We're going to keep it real simple. The only Arabs on earth are black people, all right? Those black people got conquered before Prophet Muhammad was born. Pseudoscientists, look at the chronology. Prophet Muhammad is born 1,400 years ago. 2,000 years ago, the Romans kicked the Egyptians behind, the Arabs behind, the Palestinians behind, the Syrians behind. Rome was doing that thing. They had the technology, the guns. We call them back then. They had 18-inch swords. They used to wear that in the leather seat. They had the spears, the shields, the helmets. Technology they got from black people. I mean, they use their military forces. I mean, stuff they learned from Africans, Hannibal, and all that kind of stuff like that as time went on. But long story short, Arabia was conquered by countless civilizations like the people from Turkey, the Genghis Khan, different Mongols, different people, they always warn amongst themselves, what have you, so that the Romans changed the culture to one where they're now under occupation. They're mixed with the Romans. They're mixed with Europeans. So you got these pale Arabs, I mean, you got these light-skinned Arabs, and you got these dark-skinned Arabs living in Yemen. In the southern part, all the way down there is in the ghetto, in the hood, is where all them black Arabs at. Now, I mean, you got all these white
Indians up here in northern India, all the way down in the southern part of India, the Dalits, the black untouchables, the black Indians, the poor Indians, yeah, the hood. I mean, it's like that everywhere. You could go to Kemet. You go to Egypt. It's like, no, these pale Arabs, like, why is all these pale Arabs running east? Why they got all the money and control the museums and the artifact? Because the real Egyptians is down in the hood. They down Nubia. They in the Sudan. They struggling in the hood down there, trying to get food, clothing, and shelter. I mean, education, medicine, technology. You see, political power. You know, so when we look at it, you can't look at the world like in this day and time. It's like, oh, the Arabs enslaved our people. Those Arabs were like, man, we're slave masters. I mean, the Arabs like, we enslaved Arabs. Romans be like, we enslaved Romans. Greeks be like, we enslaved Greeks. They be like, when it come to that money, it's like the hood in 20, it's like, when it come to selling poison in the hood, the hustlers ain't discriminate. They like, man, we sell fentanyl and crack to whomever. Pregnant women, whatever. I mean, to whatever. You know what I mean? When it comes to that money, the love of money is the root of all evil. And you got to understand imperialism and corporations is simply just controlling stuff in 2025. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like no matter how tough we may think we are, no matter what I may say, at any time, these jokes pull a plug, be like, at least, shut up. You know what I mean? I know I don't have no freedom of speech. So I gotta like temper this message. I gotta, you know, as the message saying 24 principles of Islam in our lesson, he said Muslim knows what to say, how to say it, when to say it, where to say it, whom to say it to. See, if I don't know what to say, how to say it, when to say it, where to say it, whom to say it to, I'll lose the whole channel. Then I can't spark you. I can't wake you up. So it's like, okay, I gotta weigh the pros and cons of this thing. Be like, all right, well, overall, I could do more good than the devil's doing bad by teaching y'all from my office, my little humble office, bringing y'all the direct, raw, divine teachings of the messenger's message in this age of mess. I could struggle and grind and sell bean pies in the snow, and after a couple of years, open up a little temple, mosque or something like that there, you know, and maybe I could teach 10, 100, or 1,000 of y'all. But if I'm being, as the messenger told us, he said he wanted his files to be tops and modern. I'm like, oh, I'm coming in the clouds. They like, what? I got the iCloud. I got the high tech. So y'all, I got the high tech Supreme Angel mic over here. I got the podcast professional joints. I just don't be using all this stuff, but we could go there. I got the high tech flat screen TVs all around the joint, the digital cameras and the iPhones, and I got the top of the line Apple products all over the crib, whatever. Know what I mean? I got the new Yeti Blue mic. You know what I mean? So it's like I could come to y'all not on a Nimbus or Cumulus or Cirrus or Stratocloud. I'm not waiting on Jesus to come floating down off the cloud. I'm like, yo, I could watch Savior's Day 1974 by sending the messenger Savior's Day, converting it to pure digital and send it through the iCloud and upload that on my YouTube channel. I'm going to send that over here to another state, put that on my website, and I'm going to send that as a live stream over in 16 different countries, and we're going to spark 30,000 people in 24 hours. You see? It's like so teaching the messenger's teachings, how we go about doing it. If we're still using that old mind and old mythology, it's like, man, it's like people like, they want to see Puff Daddy. They want to see what's going on with Jay-Z. They want to hear about gossip. They want to see some crazy stuff. They want to see sex, drugs, and violence. And, they like fun stuff and parties and luxuries and all that. They ain't trying to hear no truth. They like, please. You know what I mean? But in that struggle, you got some that do. You got some that's trying to find a good, positive, black conscious teaching. They looking for conscious black teachers. They looking for spirituality, good economic information, political information, educational stuff about the family. They want to know about the herbs and, healing and peace and stopping the violence in the hood. And, they want to see positive brothers and sisters changing their lives, and they on the come up, they making things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. They understand the concept that it's better to have money that you don't need than to need money that you don't have. They not waiting on no mystery God to come bring them no food or pay no bills. You see? And that's what I'm tapping into. But I'm tapping into it using nothing but the life-giving teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm living my whole life off of the mathematical basis of the lessons of Allah who came to the person of Master FARD Muhammad. You see, I know it works because I've been using it for 40 years. I'm leading by example with that. You see, so there is no mystery God. But if you want to take and line your mind up with some mystery God, if you want to line your philosophy up with some pseudo philosophy, hey, I'm not gonna play or hate. I don't hate the player nor the game. I'm like, yo, free will, do your thing. I'm gonna respect your space as long as you respect my space. Now it could be a war of the gods. But it's like I'm not trying to go to war with nobody. You see, but I'm not going to let nobody go to war with me either. I'm not going to let nobody disrespect Master FARD Muhammad or Honorable Elijah Muhammad on my watch. See, I'm going to respectfully represent the messenger's message in this age of mess. I'm going to clarify the falsehood with nothing but the pure truth. I'm going to dispel the darkness with nothing but the light of Islam as taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So when it comes to the phenotype and the genotype, or how Master FARD Muhammad looks and what Master FARD Muhammad is, I'm going to share with you the messenger's message in this age of mess. So a message to the black man in America. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad raised that question, and I'm going to read it one more time. This is page number 19, the chapter titled, The Coming of the Son of Man. The infidels are angry. See the 85%, the mentally dead, the 10%, the rich slave makers of the poor who make money by keeping out people blind, deaf, and dumb. They angry, they upset because they don't want to see the messenger's message rise up in this age of mess. Who is his father if God is not his father? Page 20. Talking about Master FARD Muhammad, he had to have a body that would be part of each side, black and white, half and half. Therefore, being born or made from both people, he is able to go among both black and white without being discovered or recognized. This he has done in the person of Master W.F. Muhammad, the man who was made by his father to go and search for the lost members of the tribe of Shabazz. Master W.F. Muhammad is that Son of Man, whom the world has been expecting to come for 2,000 years, seeking to save that which was lost. Master FARD Muhammad is that Son of Man. He's not the son of a mystery. He's the son of a man, a black man. You see, his pop was black. You see what I'm saying? The son could be nothing but black. I wouldn't care if Barack Obama's father was black, he married the white woman. That child is black. No matter what combination of parents Mariah Carey may have, Mariah Carey is black. You see? That's how it is in nature. You see what I'm saying? You got dominant and recessive genes. It's like that with sweet peas, fruit flies, horses, birds, fish, dominant and recessive genes. You could take 2 black bunny rabbits and feed them and mate them, and 2 black bunny rabbits have a bunch of bunnies. Some of the bunnies is going to have white fur and black fur, until eventually one of the bunnies is going to be pure white coming from these 2 black bunnies. You could take 2 black cats, a male and a female, and they have kittens, and some of them kittens just going to come out pure white. beautiful pink eyes. I mean, it's just in the gene pool. We produce the little gray kitten, the little cute brown kittens, the one with the different colors on it. And that's in your Bible, the book of Genesis, when Jacob, when they grafted the cows, I mean, they had black ones and brown ones and ring straight mixed different color ones until they produce a pure white one known as Laban. Laban basically means white. I mean, but it's symbolic teachings to let us understand, family, that everyone on earth comes from the original man. The manifestation or expression of the black man is just simply 4 shades of black, 4 shades of brown, 4 shades of yellow, 4 shades of red, albino, white. If you try to graft beyond white, the babies are born with translucent skin. You can literally see through the skin and see the blue blood inside the body. It turns red if it mixed with oxygen, but you can literally see the inside of the body. But sad to say, all of the babies are born stillborn, meaning that white is the last expression of the black man. All praises due to Allah. Thanks for listening. Remember, only the messenger's message is going to guide us through this age of mess. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses.